Hi, it's the end of March and it's a very hot day. I'm in the Scrambles on the edge of Belmont. Behind those trees is Pittington Hill. Over there somewhere is Sherburn Hill. And if you can just see, there's Sherburn. So on the edge of Sherburn is a place that I'm going to go to and tell you about the next quarterly project for OpenStreetMap UK. First I've got to go down that hill. Hopefully you can hear me over the noise of the traffic. I've got a new high-vis jacket, OpenStreetMap surveyor jacket. I'll try and get a better picture of the logo on the back, but this is a OpenStreetMap UK one. And it's extra large. Not because I've put on lots of weight during lockdown, but because this fits over my rucksack, so people can see the logo and see what I'm doing, and yeah, that will be helpful. I've come out to the outskirts of Sherburn. It's really hot here. You can tell that retention basin is pretty much bone dry, just a bit of mud, and yeah, I've come out here. It's really hot. If there wasn't a breeze outside my house, I would have put on maybe some shorts even, but it's the end of March. We're about to start our UK quarterly project, the second one of 2021, and it's buildings and new housing estates. So that's why there's a retention basin and there's some construction noise in the background. So I've driven past this. There's a few things you can do when you notice a new housing estate. One is to use OpenStreetMap, either the website or some of the apps, to add a note to say something needs updating here and say there's a new housing estate. You can often see the construction on aerial imagery that we can use. So in one of the editors, you can draw an area around it and mark that as land use construction. So I've not done that. I've decided just to come here, and it looks like we possibly have some houses that have already been moved into. So the next thing is, because I've checked the aerial imagery, you can see it's a construction site. You can't see where the roads are. So I need to make sure my GPS is recording. I'm using the OSM and app to do that. And I'll walk down every road and get the location of these roads very carefully. And then I'll try and get some house numbers as well. Often these new housing estates, they're not good at showing house numbers always, so I might have to put the plot number in for the time being. We'll take a look. But yeah, new housing estates, I always find them fun to do, because it shows that OpenStreetMap is as up to date as us volunteers manage to get outside. So people are always happy to know they're going to be put on the map, and it makes it easier in their lives for a lot of reasons, I'm sure. But yeah, I better get going, turn that GPS on and walk down here. I'm not sure how much is done, and I'm not sure if I'll survive the heat. Let's see. I've not gone far and I've already got various impressions about this. So I started with number 12. They've not got any road signs yet, which that's the minimum I would want to get after the road layout. Number 12 had a really big sign on the wheelie bin that was at the end, which was helpful. That's good. A lot of the house numbers, a lot of the houses do have numbers. Number 13's missing, of course, with a new housing estate. But over there is Latimer Way or something. And you think the other side, the odd numbers will be the same road, but that's Parkinson Court. So they're not the most logical, typical new housing estate. Yeah, I'll continue on. Of course, there's still construction going on, and I do have a high-vis, but I'm not authorised to go on the construction site. I can still walk around, and normally I can get an idea of where the roads will continue on. Lots of photos and lots of following where I can walk, so I can then continue the line when I do that. So yeah, I'll get on mapping. There'll be plenty to do here. And you didn't get to see through all my photos. I'm going to take photos of different bits, any road signs I can get, such as that wheelie bin. And you know, when I walk somewhere like to that bit, I took a photo of the fence. I know that's where the construction bit starts and it continues with a track. Or in some cases, I can see they've kind of done the road, it's just fenced off. So construction, residential, highway is construction. And that will show it, I think, as a dotted road line. But yeah, then we get to this little pond that's a retention basin. Now, I wouldn't normally just tag them as a pond, but I did see recently, we can look here in this housing estate, and I can click map data when I'm zoomed in closely, select the item, and I can see how someone else maps these. So they use man-made embankment, because it's actually more of a slope. Embankment. What else do they do? Land use is basin. Basin and basin equals retention. And I guess people find that interesting enough if they want to specifically find about these, like I said in my video earlier. I'm going to just press R to reverse the direction, and that means the little lines are on the inside. That's the side it slopes down. And there was one here, the aerial imagery isn't quite new enough for me to see completely where it went. Maybe someone will update that. If I go to this one, I can do Control C and then Control Shift V, paste all the tags. But I need to reverse that one as well. There we go. And you can see I've done it right because of the blue highlights on the inside. This area here is a different residential area, which you can just tidy up by making it quite close to the one I've added. Yeah, that should be good. I have to jump through my photos that I've already mapped. Places like the show home. There's the retention basin, I was standing there. Also the little openings. What did they get done as? Life rings, but I can put barrier equals wall if I want. I can't really see from my photo where they are. I was standing there. Oh, so this building is a substation, which I think is there. Yeah, I'm not going to work out the angle. There was some really distinct wall along here actually, which they have big advertising banners. Put barrier wall. There we go. So there we go. 20 minutes of surveying, and that's all I can do for now. There is a map next to the marketing suite that tells me how big this development's going to be. I can't use that to put into OpenStreetMap because I don't know who created that, so I don't know who has the copyright permission. It's either Persimmon Homes or whoever they got to make their site plan. It would be helpful to know that if they gave us permission to use it. But it tells me I probably walked about half of the site finished, and it looks like they're almost done building the rest of the houses. So I'll add this half on that took me 20 minutes to survey, and maybe at the end of the quarter, so in June, I'll come back and see if it's finished, see if there's more mapping for me to do, and we can do that. If not, then part of it I'll still map as a construction site, so I can keep coming back and checking that. In fact, there's a site we set up for the project where you can see construction sites that haven't been changed since 2014, so they're ones we need to go back and check. Yeah, pretty simple really. I'll now maybe map some other bits in Sherburn while I'm here, as this didn't take long. But before I leave, I came to the entrance. Can tell you there's a few more things to pay attention to with new housing estates. The retention basins, as I said, we can map them because they're just, first of all, they're a landmark. Also, they change the environment, you know, they kind of act as a pond at times, so it can tell you that it's maybe more spacious than other areas, other housing estates. There's normally new power substations, so with a reference name on the sign we can map those, because people might use those to think about the energy in the country and the structure. Also, in the same way, the retention basins, they have lots of environment impact and interest, so people might want to know where they are, so they're good to map. There's a little gas installation. I'm not too good at knowing how to map gas infrastructure, so I'll have to use the wiki to add that. But I did take a photo of the reference name. I know sometimes they're just used for orienteering to go to that point and tell me what the number is, and it's on the map. So there's all the little bits, and of course sometimes there's footpaths cutting around, or from outside the housing estate. All the usual features you might find, you can map those. If you want to know more about the project, the quarterly project is to map buildings and housing estates. I should have said there'll be a link in the description for you to read all that and find some links to other things, particularly ways to map buildings without going outside if it's a rainy day. Any other interesting photos? A photo of the sign, of course, lets me know the name and who it's kind of operating the site, and that's all in there. And this was the power substation, and there's also here, yeah, so it's got the reference, alright. And then the gas installation now. Untick map data. See, we can see information about retention basins. We can search the wiki for gas station. I know that's going to be the American style of petrol station, which is not what I mean. And I just search gas pipelines and infrastructure. It's not really a pipeline. Related features. Pipelines, substation maybe. I'm not familiar enough with gas infrastructure. What I can do is go substance gas. The reference will be helpful for anyone who wants to check it out seriously. And the operator is ES Pipelines Limited, and I could put a note to say what that is, but yeah, I think anyone with any knowledge of the area, or even a casual look, you can see what it is. So, last thing is, with this note that I put, I would normally tick the green box. Instead, I'm going to put the speech bubble, because I don't want to close the note. Surveyed houses that are built / ready. Site is not fully constructed yet. And that leaves it open for anyone else to know. They can have a look. If time's passed since March, then they can go and look and do some surveying there. But yeah, I think that's probably nice enough of mapping the site for now.